I need rings, Super Bowl size. I need a fine dime with some Super Bowl thighs. You say you the truth, that's a Super Bowl lie. I flex on a nigga like a super swole guy. You come into the squad and you super gon' die. I make it look easy and I super don't try. It's funny, everybody always looking up to me, but I've always been a super short guy. Bye.
What's going on, guys? JWAGS 412, man. It's summer, having fun. Got to fucking pull up and play these games, and a lot of game news has been happening. Now I ain't got time to make a dedicated video for each one of these fucking topics, so we're gonna do a rapid fire rant kind of thing. I might even call it that, rapid fire rant. We'll see what the fuck I call it. But the first thing I want to talk about is Hellblade 2. Now, Hellblade 2 releases May 21st, so tonight, the time I'm making this video. This shit releases tonight. I'll be playing it in the mornings I work tonight. And what I want to talk about was, and I've been on Twitter and shit, but I haven't made a video, is this review embargo bullshit, right? So if you did not notice, they put a review embargo on Hellblade 2. And what an embargo means is that there's no fucking review can come out until whenever the fuck they say. So Microsoft said, we're not going to let any reviews come out until, what, an hour before fucking release? I think that's what it was. So an hour before release is when you'll see all the fucking reviews come up. I wonder why that is, man. This game has had so many red flags since the beginning, man. Since it was announced. It was announced in 2019. This thing's been in development for fucking, what, 8, 9 goddamn years or something like that, right? 8 or 9 years. We get the release date, right? Cool. Then we find out that this game that Microsoft's been touting, been developing for the past 9 years, this is supposed to be the next gen game. First thing we find out is this game is $50. $50. Why? I knew as soon as I saw a $49.99 price tag, I said, uh-oh, something's not right here. There's something compromised here. There's something not quite up to snuff. And maybe that could be contributed to the 8-hour game length. If you did not know that, this game is supposed to be 8 hours. Could even be shorter. Who the fuck knows? And that's a big argument by itself. People will say, well, 8 hours, that's a good length. I don't want a 30, 40 hour, 50 hour, 100 hour open world game. And you could say that. But then you gotta argue like logic versus like cost versus time. And you know, so if I pay $70 for something like Rise of the Ronin where I get 60, 70 hours out of it, and then I pay something like $50 for Hellblade 2, it's 8-hour experience. It's all what you like, I guess, because Hellblade 2 is gonna be more of a cinematic, linear experience, very story driven, and something like Rise of the Ronin, which does have a story and does, but it's open world. Usually with an open world game, there's a lot of filler, a lot of side quests, a lot like that mini game shit I don't really fuck with, like in Final Fantasy 7 remake or Rebirth. So that there, who the fuck knows? But then we found out this game, Xbox's first party game of the year, their biggest game in years now to come out, right? A first party game from Xbox is going to be 30 frames per second, locked on the Series S and X on the world's most powerful console. And I did make a video about that shit, man. And that shit, I don't care. I don't give a fuck what the excuse is. I don't care how good this game looks. It is absolutely inexcusable in 2024 to release a game like that, first party game like that, with not at least the option for a 60 FPS mode. I don't give a fuck how good it looks. There's not a ton happening on screen. There's never more than 1 or 2 enemies on the screen at a time. Suck my dick. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Something else going on with that. Just the same way that Redfall, for whatever goddamn reason, released 30 FPS. Then they patched it in, months later. And Starfield released 30 FPS on console only lock, which was bullshit. And then it's passed that 60 FPS. And so don't give me this shit about it's a creative choice and yada, and it looks so good that they can only 30 FPS. They just don't want to do it. They just haven't done it. Because sure enough, Hellblade 2 is going to get a 60 FPS patch, maybe 8 months down the line, 9 months down the line, who knows. But that shit should be done at launch. That shit should have been there at launch. This game's been in development for 9 fucking years. It shouldn't be an issue. And if you're a person that bought an Xbox Series X, the world's most powerful console, uncompromised, power your dreams, all their bullshit they put in their marketing, 4K 120, you'd expect this thing to at least have an option for 60 FPS. Now, is Hellblade 2 going to be a good game? It should be. I'm going to play it in the morning. I like the first one. But make no mistake, this is not that game that Xbox needs. It's not the game that's going to put Xbox back on the map. It's not the game that's going to gain everybody's confidence back. It might be a cool game. It might be a good game. But it's an 8-hour, linear, 30 FPS game. This is not going to instill confidence back in the Xbox community. This is not the game that's going to be like, oh, everyone's like, I got to go around and get an Xbox, because the marketing for it has been fucking abysmal. A lot of people don't even know this game's coming out. even me, somebody who follows gaming, man, I keep on. I'm like, oh, shit, that is coming out sometime soon. Because you see absolutely zero fucking marketing for it. And Ninja Theory on their Twitter are talking about shit like fucking photo mode way more than they're talking about the actual game. And I don't understand that shit. This shit has not been promoted like it should have been. Nobody knows it exists. Hellblade, the first one wasn't exactly a good seller, wasn't exactly like a big name game. So this doesn't have a lot of weight behind it. But you factor all that shit in, right? Everything I just said, and then on top of that, they want to put a review embargo where you cannot see a review till 1 hour before the game releases. Why? And I think it's because they have no confidence in this game. They know it's a short linear experience. They know it's 8 hours. They don't want that shit out there on Metacritic. They don't want them scores out there yet. They don't want to kill any chance this game has to sell whatever it's going to sell. And I don't believe it's going to sell that well. The first one didn't sell well. I don't think people on Steam are going to fuck with it that much. People on Xbox definitely aren't going to buy it in droves, especially when you got Gamepass. Why would you buy it when they tell you actually not to buy the game? So Hellblade 2 is a lot of factors here, man. But like I said, it could be a good game. My Metascore prediction, even though I don't really give a fuck about the Metascore prediction. I played plenty of games that rated 60, 65. I thought were some of the best games so far this gen. That being like Forspoken and Quantum Error, shit like that. But my prediction is, I'm gonna say 83. I'm gonna say a solid like 82, 81, 83 on Metacritic. Not that it really matters, but the fact that they're trying to hide this shit and they're being sneaky with this shit and they're not letting anybody review it, and then they're sending their fucking review codes to all the people, the worst people you can send them to, the people who you would assume they would send them to. Like they send them to fucking Cold Eastwood, Double Barrel Gaming. Yeah, that's fucking old. That fucking whatever. I got a problem with that, dude. The Double Barrel Gaming. They're sending this shit like, Paris Lily. They're not sending it to anybody, of note, somebody, that you trust, or somebody with a gigantic following. These people don't have gigantic followings, but they know that no matter what, even if the game was absolute shit, these people are not going to be critical in the slightest about the game. And that's what they're doing. They're very cautious about who they sent this thing to. And of course, so when the Metacritic comes out, you're going to see, Xbox era 100 out of 100, shit like that. So the reviews are gonna be skewed. I don't know, man. It's hard to say, but like my personal thoughts on this, I'm excited for the game. I'm not like hype about it, but I'm excited to play it. I want to see if they did anything, if new at all. See how the new approach they took to this series. They spent a lot of time on mocap and a lot of time in Iceland and getting the landscapes right. So my main thing here, man, I think if it's like the first one, it'll be good. I hope that they improve on the combat just a little bit. Now the combat was okay in the last one. It was very 1v1, very linear, not much variation in the combat, but I hope they really expanded on that. And if they just expand on the combat and keep everything else how it was, just amp it up a little bit, the visuals and everything else, it should be a good game for Xbox. And like I said, I don't think it's going to be a home run for them. I don't think it's going to be a fucking better seller than a Hi-Fi Rush. But I think it's going to be a good experience from Xbox. All right, next thing. The next thing is, it's a rumor still, but I mean, it's pretty much, we knew it's going to happen, but Call of Duty going to Game Pass day and date. It's all but been confirmed. It's a rumor going around, they're going to start bringing the new Call of Duty games to Game Pass day and date. I guess starting with Gulf War, which is going to be the new one. And my reaction to this is, that's a terrible idea. That's going to be terrible for Call of Duty. It's going to be terrible for the Call of Duty fans. Because just like anything else, so when you bring this Game Pass model, right, this day and date, like especially for like multiplayer focused games, we've seen how this affects the quality of major franchises. Let's take Halo. Halo was beloved. Halo was the shit, right? And then Halo Infinite come out, and if they fucking tore it to pieces, the quality declined drastically, and it was evident. And probably the worst case scenario here, and the biggest example of how Game Pass fucks up a franchise completely, is what they did to Gears 5. Gears 5 is an absolute abomination of a Gears game. They ruined that franchise with Gears 5. I don't care what you say. I don't give a fuck what anybody's opinion is. I'm telling you from a hardcore Gears fan that's been playing it since the very beginning, since 06, and I play this shit religiously. I still play 4 to this day online. I fucking love Gears of War. And they ruined that shit. I only have about, 15 hours in Gears 5. That's fucking saying something. The player count on Steam, I think, is anywhere between 2 to 250 on any given day. for a Gears game. That's fucking horrific. It is worse. I repeat, it is way worse than Gears Judgment ever was. Gears Judgment, while it might have been its own game from People Can Fly, it varied a lot from the Gears formula, was still a much better and complete experience than Gears 5. Man, Gears 5, I can go into the whole, everything problem I got with Gears 5, but that's not what we're here to talk about. But when they throw this game, this day and date model against these games, right? To trust and believe, because the quality of Call of Duty has been declining for years now. Matter of fact, their last game, their single player campaign, was less than fucking 4 hours long, right? Less than 4 hours, and was a goddamn Warzone like clone kind of thing for a single player experience. So that's already trash. But what makes you think when this game goes day and date, when people just don't have to pay $70 to get in or $100 or whatever, the additions people buy, do you think they're going to put the same amount of money towards this shit? Do you really think that? No, yeah, it's still going to be available on PlayStation, where it's probably, that's the majority of what's going to be bought. It'll still be available on PC through Battle.net and their launcher. But I am telling you right now, that the quality, they're not going to put the same budget in the Call of Duty that they have in previous years. Absolutely not. They're going to mold this shit to fit their Game Pass model budget, and they're going to push even more microtransactions than you've ever seen before. This is what they spent $70 fucking billion right here, is for this. So they're going to milk this thing the most they can, man. They're going to get the most they can out of it. They're going to put the least amount of money they can into it, and get the most money they can back out of it. That's what the fuck they're going to do, man. So trust me when I say it might not be this one, because this one's already been in development, Call of Duty Gulf War. But trust me, on the next one, you're going to see that shit. It's going to be vivid. The quality will decline drastically. Now the Game Pass is going to go day and date into, Call of Duty's going to go day and date in Game Pass. That's just the reality, and we've seen it time and time again throughout the years so far. Alright, so really quick, let's talk about Square Enix going third party. Everybody keeps saying Square Enix is going third party, and when I hear that statement, Square Enix is going third party, it confuses the... Since when has Square Enix ever been a first party developer? When have they ever been this exclusive? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I know they have deals. They have had deals with PlayStation for shit like Final Fantasy and shit like Foam Stars, which was on PC too. But there's exclusivity deals they got going on. But they have always been a third-party publisher. Their games, most of them, release on every goddamn console, that being a Switch, that being an Xbox. They've been that way. They've never been exclusive to PlayStation exclusively with every title. Now, if these exclusivity deals are not working out for them, if these deals are not living up to their expectations, they don't feel like they're selling enough being exclusive on the PlayStation, like shit like Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, shit like that, then it is what it is. That's the prerogative. If they want to put those games day and date on the other consoles as well, that's what the fuck they're going to do. It's a third-party developer. PlayStation has no fucking control over that. They can opt out at any time. But when you say, if you're a person that says, or if I hear this fucking thing that says, Square Enix is going third party, they have always been third party, you dumb fuck. They just have some exclusivity deals with PlayStation, for here and there, but they've always been third party, always. And big news, man, PlayStation has announced a PlayStation Showcase in June. Now, if we recall from the last PlayStation Showcase, that shit was utter fucking garbage. There was almost nothing to get excited about on the last showcase. So what's this going to be here? We don't know. We don't know if Naughty Dog's going to tease something. We don't know, maybe if Guerrilla's going to tease something. I hear something about a Horizon Zero Dawn Lego. That sounds whack as fuck. What else? I don't know. You probably see more Death Stranding 2, I would hope. I'm not sure what they're going to show. Maybe something on Venom. Maybe Wolverine. Official, reveal. I don't know, man. I'm excited to see what they're going to show, man. It's going to be a lot of third-party stuff as well, but people who are getting super hyped for this show, man, I think you need to temper your expectations a little bit. We don't know what's coming on the pipeline from Sony. We really don't. We don't know what's coming out first-party-wise in the next year or so, 2 years. We really have no idea besides fucking Venom and Wolverine eventually, whenever it gets officially announced. So we do not fucking know. Am I hyped for this PlayStation Showcase? Yes. Even though the last showcase they had should have been a fucking PlayStation Direct or whatever, because it wasn't even a goddamn showcase. In my opinion, it was fucking complete garbage. I want to see maybe if they got something new coming out for PSVR 2, first party. I doubt it. But whatever else they're going to show first party wise, I have no clue. We don't know, because PlayStation's been very quiet. We really do not know what's coming out of the pipeline first party wise. So I'm interested to see what's kind of with that. And the last thing I want to talk about real quick, man, is this Assassin's Creed, this new Assassin's Creed game with the Black Samurai. Who gives a fuck, man? I'm gonna keep this very brief. And I'm not trying to sound like, like, oh, I'm a white guy trying to defend. No, it's just getting fucking ridiculous, man. The shit like this, people are outraged by shit like this, and it really pisses me off. So people are so outraged about a Black Samurai, whether it's historical accuracy or is valid or not. I don't really give a fuck, even though I hear it is. But it's just the fact that you're so anti about this shit and so mad about this shit, but there's plenty of other fucking worse shit going on in the gaming industry you'd be complaining about. There's plenty of worse shit, but that's what we want to focus on, right? Nobody has a problem playing a blue character, an avatar, a green character, a red character, Baldur's Gate, all these fucking different color characters. But anytime you got someone wants to play a black character, usually, unless it's like a setting like a Grand Theft Auto or something like that. But if it's something like in 1800s or the old Japanese dynasties, or it's in the future, people get really pissed off for some reason playing a black character, and I just don't get it, man. Grow the fuck up. It's video games. You can play anything you want in video games. You play. We play as fucking werewolves and elephants and Mario. Who the fuck cares, man? Get the fuck over it. If you're on the internet crying about a Black Samurai, then don't buy the fucking game. That's all I gotta tell you. Don't buy the fucking game. Me personally, I haven't bought an Assassin's Creed game. Shit, probably since Black Flag, and I really don't plan on picking this one up either. Not because I'm, because I don't want to play the Black Samurai. It's because I really don't fuck with Assassin's Creed like that anymore. I find it repetitive, and I find that whole formula repetitive as fuck, and I really had no interest in the game. But for y'all saying y'all aren't gonna buy this shit and Sweet Baby Inc. and all that shit because it's a Black Samurai, go fuck yourself, man. Grow the fuck up. It's video games. Shit like that is irrelevant. And that's all I got, man. It's a quick fire rant, man. Enjoy the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that bullshit. Tell you guys next time. Thanks.